Let's now cut across to a press conference by Sunita Williams.
Things that I brought with me and cherish. Actually, it's all of my heritage from both my father and my mother. So a little from both of them. India has given me so many eyes wide open about different things in life. Of course, I grew up in the United States, but came here at a pretty. I came to India at a pretty young age. First time I was about 10, and it definitely left a huge impression on me. So I really appreciate my Indian heritage and was glad I could bring part of it with me to space. So those are the things. We don't get to carry too much to space. So those are some of the small items that I wanted to make sure were part of me while I was there. Ganesh has always been in my house. Everywhere I've lived, I've had Ganesh, and so he had to come with me to space, of course. And Indian food, you can never get enough of Indian food. I was so excited to come here to know that I would be eating Indian food, so I had to make sure I had samosas in space with me. Other types of Indian food we definitely had up there as well. And in regards to Bhagavad Gita, and this last time I brought a small copy interpretation of Upanishad with me. Those are sort of personal, spiritual things that you, a little bit of reflection of yourself and your life and the world around you makes you see things a different way, and I think that was most appropriate. I also brought, along with the Bhagavad Gita, the Odyssey, and I thought that was also quite appropriate to be in space and have those types of things to reflect and read about.
And Sunita ji, I have gone through your 4 or 5 biographies. Here, 4 or 5 biographies. So many questions I already know, but one question I could not find those biographies. It is very difficult for an Indian husband to be a wife's celebrity or star status. What is about your husband, and what do you want to tell Indian husbands?
That's great.
I'm not sure you can tell a husband anything, can you? I think it's an interesting question, but it's a partnership. Every marriage, I think, is a partnership, and I am just lucky that I have a very supportive husband, as well as my immediate family. My parents and my brother and sister and all of their families have all been very supportive, and I think that's the biggest thing. I've never been told I couldn't do anything. I've always been told, well, why don't you try it, and why not? And I'll be with you all the way. And I think that's the most important part. And I think spouses, both men and women, in my job and other jobs which are important and dangerous and scientific jobs, takes a lot of time. And I think my parents were a huge role model for me. My mother was extremely supportive of my father's medical work and medical research. He would not have done the things he did without her support. I would not have done the things I have done without the support of my husband and my family. And I would pass that on, that's the partnership you decide on and you agree upon when you get married, and people should honor that.
From the Hindu newspaper.
Yes, please, बोलिए.
I want to know, were you nervous before the space flight because of what happened to Kalpana Chawla and the rest of the police?
I wasn't nervous, actually. I flew on the space shuttle after her flight on Columbia. I flew in 2006, and so it was a couple of years afterwards, and there was a lot of work that was done to make sure that the space shuttles were ready to fly again. I have full confidence in the people who are doing that. Part of our office, astronauts, were involved in that work to understand what happened and prevent it from ever happening again. But spaceflight is risky. I call it a calculated risk because we try to understand all of the risks that are involved and try to mitigate them as much as possible, but it is taking the next step, an exploration, so you have to understand that there are risks out there. But know you're doing it for the right cause, and be confident in your capabilities that you can do as much as you can to prevent any problems. So I don't think I was nervous at all. I was excited. I was excited to continue her dream and her vision.